Out here on this thankful Thursday. You are chimed in with your girl Nina Marie for another segment, another episode of Life Talks. And it's been a couple of weeks, so I hope that you all have missed me just as much as I've missed you all. And as the kids say, big things is popping. Okay. I mean, just amazingly. I can't even make this stuff up. But one thing I know as I'm jamming to this song, shouts out to Tribal Nights in Atlanta. This song is called Moving, y'all. And if you get to chime in to a couple of the lyrics as we are kicking off this show today, make sure you listen in and be sure to add it to your playlist. Because in this season, y'all, he's moving. Do you hear me? But we are here and I am so excited. As I mentioned, it's been a couple of weeks since I've been with y'all. I feel like I've been everywhere and right back home, if you will, because it has been everywhere that I've been moving to. I was in California. Shouts out to the Mind of Maldonado art show. I am so excited to be able to have been a part of that a couple of weeks ago in LA. It was Mr. Maldonado's, Alan Maldonado specifically. So make sure y'all follow my bro. Look him up. He's been in several movies. But it was such an honor to be a part of his art show, his debut of not only his art, but also his music. And then I left from there and went to Atlanta to be a part of a class as I'm getting ready to launch some things that is just exciting. So you'll be hearing more about that. As I mentioned, this is a season that he is moving. And I cannot attest this to anything other than the Most High. Okay. So welcome, welcome. If you have not already followed me on my social media platforms, please be sure to take a moment and go and do so right now. Or as they say in Texas, right now. Okay. You can find me on my social media platforms on Facebook under Nina Marie, on TikTok, because your girl is on TikTok too now, finally, right? Under real_Nina Marie. And you can also find me on Instagram, or as the young folks say, IG, on under Real Nina Marie. So on IG, Real Nina Marie, TikTok, real_Nina Marie, and nothing other than Nina Marie on Facebook. So make sure you take a moment to follow me on my social media platforms, and you are going to be glad that you did. There's so many exciting things happening that it wouldn't be enough time in this show, especially with the guests that I have, to even tell you what is all going on. But that leads me to my excitement, because I understand that during this season, it was on my heart not to impress you, but to impress upon you that whether you're here, you're there, or you everywhere, your relationships make all the difference in the world. And I mean, all the difference in the world. Okay. And one of the things that I know we have made sure that we have played a part of in this whole system, okay, is really understanding that this thing is so much more or so much bigger than any of us, if you will. And so this season, I had it in my heart to do a series called the State of Life Within. The State of Life Within. Well, what is the within what, Nina? I'm glad you asked me. It's the state of life within 5 core areas that Life Talks is governed by. And those 5 areas is my faith, my family, my fitness, my finances, and a whole lot of fun. Okay. I mean, a whole lot of fun, a whole lot of faith, and a whole lot of fun, and everything in between. Okay. And so this season, with the state of life within, this will be part 3 of state of life within the church. And not just within the church, but the relationships that we have in all aspects of life. Now, my pastor used to say, God rest his soul, Johnny Goodman. But Jay used to say that God didn't die for stones, he died for bones, right? And so in that, I understand that we are the church. So it ain't even about a building, but it's about this building. And because I've understood that, everything that I do out here in my relationships has been an ultimate reflection of where and how I desire to build my life and govern my life all the way through. And this young lady that is joining me today, y'all, I'm so excited because she has been near and dear to my life for many years now. At least I'm thinking that if my baby girl turned 11 today, I would say about 8 years now, about 8 years roughly. And we'll talk about that. We'll get into that. But without further ado, we're talking about healthy relationships. And this one has been my mentee. She's walked through some areas with me in life. I've walked through some things with her, but now she's a whole lady now, y'all. And I want to introduce to some and present to others my sweetheart, excuse me, Mrs. Tyreia Linnear. Are you out there, Ty? I am so honored that in the midst of life, because you know life is life and for y'all in this season,
Yes,
right?
it is. Isn't it always? But we got to
Right,
keep on, right?
right. So even in the midst of lifing in this
Yeah.
season, right?
Hmm.
You have been able, there you go. There go that beautiful smile. You've been able to journey with me for quite some time. So tell the people, hey, and who you are and how did we even first cross paths?
Hello. Yeah, so I'm Taria. I met Miss Nina when I was like 14 years old, going to Green Oaks High School. Shout out to Green Oaks.
Woo-woo.
So pretty much we met crossing paths through JROCT, which is like one of the curriculums they have for us to be like young cadets and everything,
Yes.
leadership and everything. She came in talking about her program, introducing herself and where she grew up from and who she was. And I pretty much, I knew who she was and where she came from based off of how she summarized herself, which is Flint, Michigan. Shout out to Flint, Michigan. I love
Woo-woo.
it. So after that happened, I was familiar of Miss Nina, but I didn't join that year in 2014. I joined the following year in 2015. I pretty much, saw her outside with some snacks and she passed by. I'm like, hey, can I come? She's like, come on. But
And tell
I
them what
stuck.
this was. You didn't join what? What was it that you had the opportunity to
Right.
join?
Right. So I came to the spot. The spot was what the chit chat and chew is what we called it, but the spot is the organization, which stands for Successfully Preparing Our Teens. Uh, so pretty much the reason why I feel like I really just stuck to her is not because of the snacks, of course, but because she was trying to really teach us something and instill like leadership qualities, a vision in us. There's more than what we have here. She got us connected with different organizations, got us in touch with Christ. So I just built a strong bond with her, and I'd never look back. I got involved in so much with her, from young life to modeling. You know, I met incredible people, traveled like so many things, and I just would never regret anything. I've learned so much. I've became a mentor through her organization. I've went to college. I'm now mentoring also for community renewal. So it's
Woo-woo.
just so many great things happening, just from where I started and where I am now. So it's amazing. It's amazing. Life is life, and right?
Listen, and then listen to this part, Ty, in this song. This is my favorite part. Listen to it.
Yes, yes, he does.
And listen, I was sharing with my baby girl. I say, let me tell you, the reason why that's so amazing because I've always said, even being a believer in church for so long, I'm like, don't ask me where these scriptures at. I've just worked
Right.
on living them, right? And outside of the traditional scriptures that we learn, Psalms 23, John 3:16, you know,
Right.
Genesis 1:1, in the beginning. We've learned all of that. But this one particular scripture was a scripture that I learned personally for me. And that's Romans 8:28. That know that all things work together for your good.
Yes.
And just listening to you, just got my whole heart warm, because I think about where y'all started at. And not just you,
Right.
but your husband. You've been a wife now for how long?
So we celebrate our 3-year anniversary on Monday. So 3 years.
3 years. Wedding anniversary. I was just doing, look on my finger. I was just doing the math, like, because you what, 23 now?
I am
So
23,
that's been
and
9 years
yeah.
almost. Well,
So
it's
we've
been
been
nine
together since I
years.
was 14, and I'm
Wow.
23 now. Yes, ma'am.
Wow.
So dating 9 years, marriage 3 years. Yes, ma'am.
And so we say that to say, the same way that Tyrese, or the same way that Tyreia was in the trenches with
Mhm.
on my hip, rooted and booted, Tyrese was as well.
Yes, he
Tyrese was
was.
never too far, and when I think about the journey of it all, make sure y'all go on Amazon and get my book too. The journey and the faith that it took to get there. Because one thing I know, and two things for sure, whether you in the church, out the church, wherever, life be lifing. And Tyree
Mhm.
always say, whether you what,
Two,
two,
22, 32.
life
What's
happens,
the
right?
rest? Life
Any of the
happens.
numbers, right? 82,
Right.
192, like, no matter how
There we
old you
go.
are, life happens.
Two
And
months.
right? Because
Right.
baby, I be looking at Orion face and he be just so sad because he ain't got that milk. Like, life be hard, period, right? But what I know is that you got to have relationships.
Yeah.
And it's the healthiness of the relationships around you that helps you become all that God has ordained for you to be. So
Um,
I don't care in what aspects we talk about the life within, right? It really all boils down to the relationships. And one thing I knew was that y'all were young, a young couple that understood this is what we want, and we just need some help walking through this thing. And I've heard, Tyreia, because I've worked with kids now for almost 30 years, right? So I've heard, oh, them kids, you can't tell them kids nothing. They don't want to listen, and dot to dot to dot. I was in that thing. And it didn't matter if y'all wanted to listen or not. My number one goal was to plant the seeds. And whatever y'all did with it was up to y'all. But I was going to own up to what I know. That good book I read from, where they get to talking about train up a
mhm.
child. Oh, how about even that scripture in Titus that say, let the older women teach the young. Oh, okay. That book that we all read from here and there. They say it's the number one best-selling book. And you ask the average person when the last time they read it, and they really can't even tell you,
Right.
right? But I understood the power of relationships. And guess why, Ty? Because I had a
Right.
mentor. I had mentors that did the exact same for me, that cared about, no matter what that little fast tail girl was doing, no matter that she was a young mother, teenage mama, she still had leadership in her. And she still had dreams and goals that, with the right tools and utensils and with the right resources, I could become possibly the
Mhm.
Nina Marie that y'all get to see today. And y'all ain't seen nothing yet. I'm just saying, right? So is Tyrese in a position to peek his head on and say, hey, because, from a young man's perspective, if not, that's fine, because I know life be life and he mandating the babies. Tell them about
Yeah.
the girls. Tell them about the girls and how old they
So
are.
I have two girls. One is 2. She'll be 3 in November, November 2nd. Super excited about that. I'm trying to come up with like something to do for my baby. So, you
I already
know.
know exactly what we can do. We can talk about that afterwards. It's gonna be
Okay,
so
okay.
fun. So I'll shoot that to
Okay.
you.
Okay. And I have a 4-month old, and she actually just woke up. Here she goes. Can I show her? I'm gonna show
Yes.
her. Hi, my
That
baby.
TT baby.
Hey,
That
my
TT
baby.
baby. That
So she's
TT
4
baby.
months. And
Yes.
yes, they're great. They're great. We're growing. We're growing. We're growing. We're getting accustomed to our routine. 2 kids is crazy.
Yes.
But you know, we're a growing family, and I love it. We're learning something new every single day because they're so different. You know, their personalities are so different. So yeah, it's fun. Super
And
fun.
you know what I love the most, Ty,
Mm,
is I'm so proud of y'all.
thank
I'm
you.
so proud of y'all because we both know a couple of graduates from rather Green Oaks or BT
Hmm.
or whatever other schools, because it ain't just them schools, Shreve, Bird,
Hmm.
Magnet, that are mothers with more than one kid,
Absolutely.
a couple of baby
Absolutely.
daddies, ain't no
Absolutely.
husband in the picture. Y'all ain't building business. You're not working to make a difference they not working to make a difference in the community. So we can always look back over where we wish coulda, woulda, shoulda.
Right.
But when we can take a moment to see where we was
Man.
and then where we at,
What? And it's only up from here. That's the crazy thing.
that's the
It's
crazy
this
part.
the beginning. This is the beginning. Look,
And
we doing big
Tyreia,
things. We doing big things.
listen, listen, Linda, listen, Larry,
Listen,
right?
listen, listen. I'm listening. I'm listening. I'm listening.
It's so amazing because I just remember meeting you in the ROTC room.
Mhm. Mhm.
And when I shared who I was, and I was like, born in I didn't even say where I was born at. I just
We
said
didn't
from Michigan. And I
exactly.
remember you like, are you from Flint? And I was like, girl, what you know about Flint?
Right,
Way down here in the dirty
baby.
South,
Them
right?
books. Them books.
And I was like, well, born in Port Huron, but raised in Flint. But what you know about Flint, right? Like I was just so amazed. And the rest was history because they say, the number one place to hide something from a black person is in a book.
In
It's
a
the
book.
saddest thing
I'm talking
ever.
about reading. Yeah,
But
my
it's the
mom had me
reality,
reading
and I
really
knew
young.
that. So here I am meeting this little chocolate, beautiful girl from what they deem to be one of the worst communities in the city of Shreveport. Shouts out to the road, baby, to see road. Okay.
Right.
So it being deemed as one of the worst places of the community, and you're raising your hand based on something that you learned from a book that wasn't in school.
Mhm.
That showed me the leader in you from that alone. And as I think about the journey of it all again, I wouldn't regret not an ounce of it.
Not at all.
You remember I would be coming in there with them snacks by myself. Ain't
Yeah.
nobody with me. I'm building this organization. I ain't got nobody with me. I need kids to help me carry this stuff in. I ain't had no money. I was doing it out of actually, I even had food stamps at the time. Come on, God, tell the story, right?
You know.
I had food stamps at the time. So it was like, and then the times that we did like our end of the year shindigs when I had money to buy hot stuff, the pizzas, and see, I had to
Yeah.
save
Yeah.
money to do that because I was a single mama. Like I understood the journey, but it never changed my goals. It never changed the vision, and it definitely never changed the mission. And so,
Mm.
as we get ready to land this plane, I'm gonna ask you two questions as we close because we've had hard times. Like we're talking about the state of life within, and this is within the church because see, I'm a firm believer, and although through the rest of this series dealing with the faith here, but the family, our fitness, my
Mhm.
finances, and a whole lot of fun.
Mhm.
All five of these areas has not been easy. And and yet every last one of them to effectively run like a smooth, well-oiled train, relationships are attached to all of them, right? And so what would you say has been, because we've had some hard times,
Mhm.
hard conversations, things that you haven't agreed with. You've had to pat my back and wipe some of my tears because I believe
Yeah.
that relationships are two-way streets, right? And as you
Yeah.
got older into a young woman, those conversations look different, you know? And
Absolutely.
so, what would you say to that young man or that young woman or even that adult that maybe don't have mentors in their life? You know what I'm saying? What would you tell them as to why you're not only still hanging out with me, but what is this relationship? What would you say to them on why they should have mentors in their life and the benefits of what has been for you?
So pretty much, I feel like there's always somebody there that's going to be wiser than you and has been through it. Find you somebody that you can trust, somebody that you can really lean on. Um, everyone may not have somebody, but someone could be in your corner, a pastor, a neighbor, somebody is there. You get what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And if
Yeah.
you can't find somebody, there's like resources out here,
Yeah.
as far as like, actual help that you can go sit and talk to. So I feel like, at some point you have to let things out and get some type of guidance, on what to do and where to go in life, especially if you feel like things is just going in circles. Sometimes I just
Yeah.
feel like I keep going in a circle and in circle and circle. And sometimes I just got to stop and ask myself why. If I can't answer that question, I tell somebody what's going on, somebody that I trust, and we try to figure it out together. Sometimes I don't even want them to figure out the problem. I just need help,
An
like
ear.
some wisdom.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I don't need you to fix it for me. Just tell me what to do. What can I do to help myself?
Right.
Um, there's always going to be somebody that can give you some higher guidance and some type of knowledge that you need. And I feel like we all need that. We don't need to just be going out here like, what's the word, idle, just
Yeah.
with no destination,
And
no,
no
you know what I'm
guidance.
saying, like
Right.
just wandering. Like, no, you know what I'm saying, you need a plan, you need a vision. That's really, really, really why I stuck with Miss Nina, because we had a plan, we had a vision. She cared, she showed that she cared. We actually did stuff, we went places, we met important people. I got involved in things, I got in classes, I talked to people. I didn't want to. This was even, I didn't know if I wanted to do this today. Like, I was
Yeah.
like, but my mom was like, you'll never be comfortable. I mean, you'll never, feel comfortable if you uncomfortable. What's the saying, Miss Nina? But yeah,
Yeah. Listen, if you want to be successful,
yeah,
you'll never be
you'll never be
comfortable.
comfortable.
And if you want to be
Absolutely,
comfortable, you'll never be successful.
absolutely. I believe that,
Uh-huh.
so I did it. I just did it anyway. And I believe that. Just do it anyway. Whenever you don't feel like it, like, oh, I don't know, they might tell my business. Do it anyway. You never know.
I love
Somebody
it.
can help you.
I love it, Ty. I love it. And Spot. Speaking of Spot International, we got a big shindig this weekend, and we ain't done. What they say, I ain't tired, right? We ain't done yet,
Right.
and knowing that we're still in the trenches working with youth and young adults, 6th grade through 12th grade, and now obviously building our junior leaders and senior leaders, 18 through 24. Ty, you've been a part of Spot for almost 10 years. Oh my gosh, right? And so, what would you say to the parent, right? What would you say to the parent who is looking for a program, or that young adult, your peers, that is looking for somewhere and an outlet or within a program that can help get them to where they're going. Because you see right behind me is some vision boards that I'm sure I done did one or two of these with you, right? Because that's what we do. And so what would you say to the mom or to the young adult within those age groups of why they should be a part of Spot International?
You should be a part of Spot because we're going some places, seeing some people, and doing some things.
Yeah.
Not only that, when we get together, it's fun. We definitely want to have fun. That's the main rule, is to have fun. But not only that, we're actually trying to help, build the vision of who they're going to be. Who are you? Who are you? A lot of people don't know where to start in life, what vision, what are the steps to take to get there. We try to help lay it out in front of them. Help them actually go through the steps and actually visualize and see what it's going to be like. We take them places outside of Shreveport, get them exposed to things. Um, there's a lot of things that, Black people don't get involved in. And, like as far as like financial things, as far as like EFTs, Bitcoins, and trading. Like we're getting involved in a lot of big things, guys.
Yes.
So, we have some plans for these kids. Kids that are little as like 5, 9 years old are already like making big things, just off of using their devices, coding. We have uh people out there that's ready. You get what I'm saying? We just need the kids. Bring the kids. We got it. We got it.
Absolutely. I love it, Ty. So we do. We want to invite you all out to join us this weekend on Saturday. If you're interested and you have any students, 6th grade through 12th grade, and then we have our junior leaders and senior leader program for 18 through 24. As Tyreia said, and again, it just made my heart melt because that's my statement to kids. We going someplace to see some things, and we definitely gonna be meeting some people when we get there. And so it has been a journey of that every step of the way. Trusting and believing why. What, Ty?
Believing and trusting, you better believe.
I'm telling you. And so this season, y'all, we are in the lab with your babies. And it's all about the relationships. And I'm so grateful because the state of life within the church, because that's the first relationship, your vertical relationship reflects every horizontal relationship that you got out here. And so, Tyreia, I am so grateful. I know that you're getting ready for work. Thank you so much for joining in, tapping in with me. And I already know the busy schedule, being a mother of four, the fact that you even had a second to do this with me. I'm so grateful. And I could not have asked for a better special guest today. You have been such a blessing to me in so many ways. And thank you for
Thank you.
continuously giving me the fuel and the fire that I need to keep going. Because although I cannot save them all, I'm very clear on that. If I continue to do what I do just to grab the one, you are definitely worth that one. So thank you for being who you
Oh,
are,
thank you so
and I
much.
love you so much. I'll see you tonight for our girlfriend time.
All
Listen,
right.
that's
See ya.
the fun. That's the self-care side of life, baby. You
I
got
know, right?
listen, you
Look,
gotta include all five, y'all. The faith, baby, the finances, the fitness, the family,
and the
and
fun.
the fun, honey. So, Ty,
Okay.
I will see you soon, baby. I love you so
I
much.
love you.
And have a fabulous evening
You
at
too.
work. And kiss your family for me.
Okay, baby.
Thank
I
you
love
so
you.
much. Y'all,
You're
make sure
welcome.
you join me back on my social media platforms. Thank you so much for chiming in today, y'all. We're going to continue to journey through this thing, talking about the state of life within the church. Next week, we're going to finally kick off with the state of life within the family. And I'm telling y'all, oh my gosh, the good, the bad, and the ugly. We got to talk about it because it's going down out here. But it ain't, they say in that other good book, in that good book, it say, ain't nothing new up under the sun. I mean, Cain and Abel, one of them brothers killed the other. I mean, it goes down in the family, but you still got to do what you got to do to maintain these relationships along the way. But it definitely starts in the church. So, Lord willing, We see you back next week, same time, same place, talking about the state of life within as we kick off within the family. So thank you again, Tyreia, for joining us. Make sure you follow me on my social media platforms, Nina Marie on Facebook, Real Nina Marie on Instagram, and real_Nina Marie on TikTok. And if you are interested in getting your student or your young adult to this Super Saturday on this Saturday, the 24th, please make sure you follow me on my social media platforms and reach out so I can get that information to you. Thank you all again for joining and have a great weekend. Be safe out here, y'all.